There can be an argument made for both continuous and discontinuous development. Some say that continuous development involves gradual and ongoing changes. However, others say that development is in distinct stages. I think that there are more compelling evidence for discontinuous development, and that even though everyone is growing and developing, there are distinct stages that children must reach or grow out of to move on to the next stage in their development. For example, in cognitive and language development, Piaget came up with 4 stages of child thinking process. Sensory motor stage, Piaget claimed that infants less than 9 months do not understand that objects continue to exist when out of sight, showing that skills and reasoning are developed in stages. I'm not saying that they are strictly for this age, but that at one point in time of development is different than later in life. Another example is language development. There is a critical period for optimum language development and a sensitive period where language is developed or not developed. This is particularly important for bilingual children. But within the first 2 years of every child's development, there are milestones. This is evidence of discontinuous learning, as they are distinct quantitative evidence or data for the infant to enter or not enter the next stage in language development. At 2 months, the infants coo. 4 months, infants observe language, observe their caregiver. 6 months, infants babble, adding consonants to cooing sounds. 8 to 12 months, infants points and caregiver names things that the baby is looking at. 12 months, babbling includes sound and intonation patterns, and toddlers say their first words. 18 to 24 months, spoken vocabulary expands from 50 to 200 to 250 words. Toddlers combine 2 words as well. In emotional and social development, one example of discontinuous development is the fact that emotional development happens at distinct ages. At 6 to 10 weeks, social smiling appears, and laughter at 3 to 4 months. The ability to understand others' emotional expressions expand over the first year. Another example is how children, infants and toddlers, develop self-awareness. At birth, infants sense that they are physically distinct, and so self-awareness expands over these early months. In the middle of the second year, self-recognition appears. They can look in a mirror and see and recognize themselves. With this self-awareness comes with early signs of empathy. Between 18 and 30 months, language develops, as mentioned before, and so they develop a categorized self. Compliance emerges between 12 and 18 months, followed by delay of gratification, which strengthens between 1.5 and 4 years old. In physical and motor skills, there are a lot of examples of how motor and physical skills is discontinuous development. For example, when babies are infants, they have to be able to hold their head up, roll over, and grasp objects before it can crawl or walk, and by 13 to 18 months, that walking is better coordinated. And by 19 to 24 months, they are able to jump, walk on tiptoes, run, and climb. Another example is in their fine motor skills in early childhood. At 2 years old, their first drawings are just gestural scribbles, and from 3 to 4, they can draw their first picture of a person and can distinguish writing from non-writing. At age 5 to 6, they use their fine motor skills At age 5 to 6, they use their more coordinated, fine motor skills to draw more complex pictures and uses an adult pencil grip. They can write their name, copy numbers and simple words, and discriminate letters of the alphabet. So, as you can see, a lot of development in children happen in stages. We determine if children are developing at an appropriate age or speed based off these stages. However, I do agree that they are not written in stone, but that development happens in distinct stages where one enters one stage and move on to the next.